And with that, good afternoon and welcome to Chicago. That's right, we're in Chicago out at O'Hare. Maybe every once in a while you may hear a jet fly over. Actually, literally, look out the window and they'll making an approach. I believe that's a runway. Is it ELN? Is that north? The north? Anyway, I'll figure it out for you guys for the broadcast tonight. Let's roll the open. Here we go. It's Monarchs Mocha time in 3, 2, 1. Let's brew a little cup here. How about it? Promise. Oh, yes. The coffee shop jams there. Oh, yeah. I will stop that right there. Glad you're along. Welcome to Monarchs Mocha, brought to you by the Roastery Coffee Company, Kansas City. 6 locations there since 1993, doing the best. They source the finest, bring it to you the best way possible, the best experience possible. 6 locations there in Kansas City, and I've talked about it before. That raspberry cold brew is the bomb diggity in the summer. We'll be doing a taste test of that coming up next homestand. So look forward to that. Unfortunately, today I've got the local hotel brew. I did find this place. I've never done the show from Chicago proper. I don't believe we've ever done. I think we've done one show before, and it was from the hotel. And that's kind of what we do because usually we come here. It's a weekend. I don't know why. Every series we played here has been a weekend series. So we are not out and about today, although next week in Sioux City, I will take you hopefully to someplace, I don't know where. We'll figure it out next Wednesday, perhaps. We'll go somewhere live and in town and then maybe there at the hotel and grab a player. We'll figure something out. But we do this show on game days during the week. Weekdays, Monday through Friday. Let me bring this down here. I will take your questions and comments. Unfortunately, I don't have the good news highlights, and I don't know why, because I know we did them. So I'm going to see if I can pull them up on Twitter for you. We're going to preview tonight's ball game too. A really great weekend here in Kansas City, and should be interesting. So I'm looking to see one more thing here. If I see the highlights, I don't know why I don't know where the good news highlights are. I don't know. We post everything else, but we don't have good news highlights. Oh, well. I do see a really cool thing Morgan did on a TikTok deal where David Thompson gets pushed back and then he hits the home run. You guys seen that? It's pretty good. Anyway, we are in Chicago. We got here, about just close to 10 o'clock. Left at 2 a.m. last night, and no dramas coming over. Rain most of the way. As a matter of fact, those clouds that we probably went through most of Iowa, and really once we hit downtown Kansas City, it rained in some form of fashion, not monsooning, but it rained in some form of fashion, showers from just the Northland all the way up through Des Moines and then even across to really not till we crossed the Mississippi over in Davenport did it start to let up. And once we got to outside of Chicago, it lightened up a bit. The sun was out earlier. Now they're getting some clouds have moved around, but the airplanes are still, no, I say that. They may have changed their approach. And you've heard me talk about this before. It's kind of the airplane nerd in me, but based upon weather, approaches, departures, and all that, winds and all that's what they do. O'Hare has got 3 approaches from the lake. 3 from the other direction, which would be sort of pseudo-west. They also got approaches in other directions too. And they were coming in from downtown, which means they come in over Lake Michigan, turn around the Magnificent Mile and come back in, basically parallel the Kennedy, which runs from downtown Chicago into O'Hare. But in the last few minutes, it got quiet. I don't know if there's a ground stop or if it's because of the winds and they've changed or whatever. But again, those clouds we went through last night, they moved around, and we don't expect to have really problems here. That wasn't the forecast. There was a small percentage, 20% here and there, but We expected to have 70 degrees here in the high 50s at night. So that was the plan. I will take your questions and comments as well. I do want to give you the matchup. I didn't have it last night, but I have the matchups. Oops, sorry about that. The mouse is froze there. Give me just a moment. Sometimes when you unpack the gear, it does that. Yes. Great job last night. And it's something that Joe Pietro talked about the top step last night, post-game, pitching, offense. And what's incredible, and I think we talked about this with Jackson last night, is that on nights the offense doesn't pound the ball like, 11 hits, 7, 8, 9 runs, which is what they were doing for a while there. They're also able to lock you down. Another quality start last night. That was outstanding work back-to-back for John Harris, who has pitched very well for Kansas City. No, I can't get that off the there we go. Here comes Ty's comment. That'll work. Thank you, Kenny. Good to see you. Bass team and KC, Ty. Amen to that, my friend. Cheers to you, mate. And I said that last night in the broadcast, kind of tongue-in-cheek. There was an article in one of the Royals fan sites about that, and we wish them well. We want the Royals to do well. We want baseball to thrive in our city, but it's like we said the other night. I mean, they could borrow a page from what the Monarchs culture has done. Granted, the Royals have a larger farm system, and they've got a little different way of doing business in the big league level, but the culture's there, what Joe does. And you're right on. Really nothing to sneeze at. When you get great starting pitching, which you got last 2 nights, your offense doing what the offense does, opportunities. Winnipeg left their guard down a couple of times. This is not your 2015-16 Kansas City T-Bones where you can make an error, make 2, and survive. This is a different outfit. This is a juggernaut. This ball club is something special. It is loaded with talent. We talked about it last night. There are times in our lineup card where you can make an error. You can make a mistake. You can get around it. This thing's too deep. And along with Fargo and what we'll see tonight in Chicago, those 3 teams, the class, the association currently right now, which brings me up to one more. Yes. I do, Ty. I do. Seeing it firsthand, and I don't know if you've heard me talk about this before, but I'll kind of give it to you in the abbreviated version. I've watched it firsthand. The hunger of a player who wants to chase his major league dreams, but also at the same time win, have a good time, and discover the love of the game again, with a manager who champions him and an organization, coaching staff that champions him and wants to get them to the next level, to the big leagues again. That is what this thing is all about. And those pieces all equally work. And while, it's a different year than last year as far as those moves, guys are here for a reason. They're going to get noticed, whether it be now or in September, October, November for spring training invites. They're going to get those chances. And you have a special culture here. I saw it. I'm a believer. I see it time and time again. This team won a championship last year, losing 21 pitchers or 21 players. 19 were pitchers? Losing your starting rotation, your first part of the season, and still plugged in holes because guys want to play here and players talk. So you're right on, Ty, and the culture is great. And Joe and his staff, phenomenal people. Ownership, Mark Brandmeier, Mark McKee, Jay Hendricks, phenomenal people. I'm coming to the game tonight, to a game on July 16th for KU night. Are you rock chalking it? All right. That'll be a good. Those T-shirts we do, by the way, for all those game nights, the KU and the K-State, those are cool. They're really cool. We do a really good job of those. Well, we'll be there. Of course, dang, everybody that works there is a Jayhawk. I think the only ones that aren't are our VP of Sales, Mike, good old DV, myself, and Mike's at Missouri Tiger. I'm a Texas Tech Red Raider. Where's my ring? Somewhere over here. Took it off when I went back to do my workout. Oops, there goes the mic. Took it off to go do my workout. I did to get my workout in and got some great plane spotting in, which is a nerdy activity I do at O'Hare. 1, 2, 1. Yep, we're still on, I believe. One. Hold on just a second. There we go. There we go. Build a better mic. A little better mic there. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's go Monarchs. Yes, let's go Monarchs. Which leads me to JJ this weekend. And I did get the starting rotation last night on the bus. Sam Brief, my dear mate, who is the play-by-play and media guru with those Chicago Dogs. They were making a trek from Lincoln. We were basically paralleling down the highway together. They were coming from Lincoln last night. Good to see you, Sean, as well. Good afternoon, mate. I do have the rotation, and I have the game notes not completed, but they're about to be. Let me pull that up for you quickly because this is a good matchup tonight. The lefties going tonight, Matt Hall facing Shane Behringer. Now, Behringer pitched against the Monarchs back in Kansas City a couple weeks ago, and I pulled those up. I believe I've got them right here. I think I do. Here we go. I did have them up, but pitched against Kansas City back that series. The Monarchs took 2 of 3 from Chicago. Now, remember, Chicago kind of did this and then take it off again. They're tied with the Monarchs with the best record in the association currently. I'll start there first, then I'll move myself into the segue of starting pitching. Sorry about that. Just a little broad. I don't have my glasses on because I'm still a little blurry-eyed from the drive and the workout. 17-7 for Chicago. The Monarchs are 17-7. Both have the best record. And of those 7 losses, 2 of those to Chicago are first Chicago come from Kansas City. So that tells you what you got in hand this week is they're 17-7. The Monarchs are 17-7. I mentioned Behringer pitched against Kansas City back in that last series. His numbers look like this Adam. I made Adam. By the way, my crew did a great job this 2 days. It was a 2-day stay, and they were outstanding. But sometimes I speak to them in Australian, and they don't understand what that means. So I have to sort of bring it into American terms. Behringer from Saratoga Springs, New York, against Kansas City, which would have been on the 20th. He went 6 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He walked 3, struck out 5. That's a 4-3 Monarchs win. To refresh your memory in that one, Kansas City had a 4-run second, scored all the runs there, and then locked down with the bullpen later on. They did grab 2 in the 6th inning late. That coming off Akeem Bostic and Blackham combined. They got the 3 at 2 on Blackham, 1 on Bostic, but it was outstanding work for the Monarchs to really hold them down. A real classic ball game there at Legends Field, but Behringer got the loss there going, giving the 4 earned runs. So, and Matt Hall also facing the Dogs in that series. Let's go back. Because remember, at that time, this is before Hall missed his start, I believe, correct? This was the one he would have originally garnered him pitcher of the week, I believe. So, that'll be back to your questions in just a moment. I wish I'd have put my glasses on. I didn't do it. Come on, Vaughn. What are you doing? Here on Monarchs Mocha. Brought to you by the Roastery there in Kansas City. Okay, let's go to Hall. Oops, sorry. Boy, I gotta have my specs on, but I don't. Let's try it again. You guys are like, well, what's he doing? What's this guy doing? What is he doing? Okay, Hall going tonight, and pair of lefties, and Hall against. I got my dates backwards. Hall pitched against Fargo. Remember, he missed the Chicago start. Remember that? He missed the Chicago start, and then to make him move folks around there. He does not face Chicago yet this year. He's 3-1 with a 1.22, but been outstanding in his last 3 outings. Really, all 4 outings, 3 earned runs combined, going 22 innings. Been very, very good. So Hall going tonight against Behringer. A couple of lefties tonight. That's your matchup. Let's see what we got here. A little excited to see this weekend series with the early king of the. Yes, and that was my next point, Chris. And we talked about this last night. In the big leagues, you play a longer season, okay? And I think you divide up your big league seasons into segments, and you try to position your club by July. Are you a player? Are you playing? Are you selling? Right? It's kind of what you do. Can you get back in the wild card race by August? You're watching that. It's really more in segments because you start so early. For a 100-game season, I think it shapes up with every series. Every series is huge in the big leagues too, but every series becomes a litmus test along the way. And this road, the tests can be passed or failed. And if they fail, you'll see a team snowball down the hill, or you'll see the teams pass and see them soar to great heights. We've seen that before. This stretch right here is your first. I lost my mic again. Sorry about that. It's not what I wanted to do, but make sure it's still working here. Hold on. 1-1-1. There we go. This stretch here, you've got 3 tests in this 6-game set, Chris. You've got Chicago, best record, equal the task with you. A road series, always a test. And then 3, a 2-city trip of 6 ball games, playing against the team that beat you at home already, 2 games to 1 in Sioux City. So those 3 tests are all right there. And really, you can add that 4th in there and say it's a 6-game road trip, your first 2-city swing. And right on the back of this whole thing is Milwaukee, who we thought were contenders and were contenders last year when you get back home. So they keep coming at you in ways, but this little block right here is another step on this journey. And I think we'll know a lot more on Sunday about, say, 7 o'clock than we do now. But how much more and how much we know a lot more, we know a little more. I think we get back every time these little tests happen, we find out. And I think you're going to see the team ready to go and pass that test. The Dogs will be playing catch up the Monarchs, Sean, but don't you? Yeah. Well, this Grandma Thompson, there we go. We like watching number 8 too. By the way, Carolyn, when we signed him, I said it. Look for this guy to be a big player, all-star type player in this league, a difference maker, newcomer difference maker. He has been, and he's a really, and I love when family members get on, because me and him are, I don't know him that well. But we've had a chance to talk several times. I love his approach. I love his. He's really not trying to. The TV cameras are there. He's not one of those guys that's there, right? He's kind of behind the scenes and does his work. He's a really grounded young man, and we've had really good conversation with him as well. We had him on the show, on the broadcast, on the Dugout Report 2 weeks ago, and Jackson did a great job, really unearthing this is the type of young man he is, and really, and again, it's something we were talking about culture earlier. Joe's culture is such that these are not only good players, they're good people. And Carolyn, you should be happy. I was going to play that video, but I couldn't pull it up. I'll try it in a moment. Let's see here. You've triggered the entire Chicago Metro, have I? Have I got them all fired up? Chicago Dogs are the best. Oh, duh. Okay. It is a rivalry, right? I mean, little Kansas City, the little city in the Midwest that's kind of the small fry of the bunch, and big, bad Chicago, that hardworking Windy City. And boy, those little Kansas City, whatever, we just kind of plug along there and we do our thing and go about our business. And big, bad Chicago. Oh, well. Let's see here. May have triggered them. Yeah. Oh, well. Hey, it's a good rivalry. They're good fans, too. I really enjoyed getting to know their fans here on Twitter. And I love Sam, their play-by-play guy. Last night, can you speak the bus ride in more detail? Something I'd like to hear about is off-the-field ho-hum stuff that happens every day. Yeah, let me give you a little of that. Part at 2 a.m. Yeah. We would like to have left earlier, Chris. We would like to have left at 1, perhaps 12:30. But here's the kicker. We had a choice to make. Do we pack up our bags and take all of our dirties with us and have to get them washed here with a chance of not being dry. That's always a chance because you're washing big bulks of uniforms and personals and all that. John West elected to stay at the clubhouse after the game last night. John West, who, of course, coaches first on the road, our equipment manager and clubhouse manager, phenomenal guy, the man who does it all, really does it all. John, with about 25 minutes to spare last night, able to get all the uniforms dried, which means all the home uniforms are hung up in the lockers when they get back. All the the alternate jerseys ready to go. Traveling grays were already ready because they were already washed. The personals, the batting practice tops, all the things the guys are going to need today at BP. It's very important they're dry. You don't want to put on wet socks, right? And that all got done and packed away with 25, 30 minutes to spare. And so I'll pull the curtain back. That's why John's the best. A lot of teams would have loaded up at midnight and gone to the next location and had wet stuff and dirties. And I was with Gary. We bring our big bags of dirties, have the clubby come pick them up, and hopefully they'll be ready by game time. Well, John West had them all ready before we left last night. For me, I went home, packed, changed clothes out of my ballpark dressier clothes to my bus pants and my 2 sweatshirts. Couple things. I don't have a picture here. I didn't post it, but I will try to post it maybe next week, some road shots. Typically at 2 a.m., a midnight departure usually means about an hour and a half of card playing and chatter, and then lights are out pretty much. Last night being a 2 o'clock departure, the guys already had their bunks made. They were already up. The beds we have, if you go the first 2 seats, you've got the driver and you've got Bill Sobey and Joe Capietra's seats. John West is right behind him, and the right behind is a gap, and that's where on the right side of the bus is where the facing seats go, which those facing seats turn into beds. Actually, be more like this. They turn into beds, and you've got kind of bench seats. There's bench seats, and you're able to put up, and one's a top bunk, one's a bottom bunk, and those line both sides of the bus. There's more on the left side than the right side. And then all the way in the back is a long bench seat as well. But the guys will make their beds, get them ready. And last night there was a small card game, I believe, going on in the back. I think J-Mo had it going on for a few minutes, but it was a pretty quick lights out. Usually Jared Bashaw and I, trainer Jared Bashaw, we're kind of, because of the sleeper bus in the way the dynamics work, either I'm in the very last row, which I haven't done this year, which is a rough ride, or on a late night like this, Joe Capietra is awesome. He makes a bed out of a really thick eggshell mattress. He's got comforters. There's a gap between his seat and the beds where they start, and he's able to make his own little bed going into the aisle. Jared, on the caddy corner to him, 1 seat back where the 2 rows are, he does the same thing with an air mattress. Then I take over from there to the front row, and I had the front row, and I'm able to do my work there and did some work, did the game notes and all that. But everybody was lights out, and literally lights out. I think John West was watching something, and he was lights out. And really, we were lights out until we made one bathroom stop. And I think it was just Bill and I and Michael, our driver, got off. That's it. Everybody slept on through, and we didn't. The guys didn't get up until we really pulled in to Chicagoland here at O'Hare. So that's a little behind the scenes there. Typically on a midnight departure, you'll get a card game for a couple hours. Probably Sunday will be an earlier departure because it's a 3 o'clock game. They'll probably get out here. I'm staying over Sunday night and Monday. We're in the off day on Monday. And my wife and I are staying here and going to Wrigley. But they'll have the off day in Sioux City. What they'll do on Sunday is the seats will all be up for the most part, and they'll play cards. Guys will be watching on their devices. There'll be a big card game probably, I would say, starting about 7. That'll go until we arrive in Sioux City, and that's a big deal. When the sun's still up or it's not quite bedtime yet, card game going on, man. That's a card game and some jams. And the guys are really a lot of camaraderie. They put coolers out there, make a big, huge, long card table. It's fun. It's entertaining. So a little behind the scenes there. Hope that helps you a little bit. I'll get some video for you guys when you arrive as well. Let's see. Relish this time to talk Monarchs. I appreciate it, Sean. I appreciate you. I'm sorry I don't have highlights today, but we're going to sort that out. Brian. The hat I'm wearing new for the season. Yes, this is the road cap, Brian. This is the road cap. we've only worn the road jerseys. When have we worn those? Let me see here. I can tell you. We've worn those maybe 4 times. Let's see. I've got a record of our jerseys. Let's see here. We worn the traveling gray. And what they are, you remember last year's traveling grays? Brian, we've worn them 3 times. And they are like last year's traveling grays. They're the gray Kansas City written across the script in the Navy with a gold background behind it. Numbers the same way on the back. So it's this gold and this blue written across the front, blue with the gold backing, numbers just like that. Have the Heart KC logo on the right sleeve in navy, Monarchs logo, the left corner on the left sleeve. And yes, this is the cap that goes with it. And it's a better view. It's the navy, and it's the gold. It's I can't really. I think it's almost Notre Dame gold, really, or yellow, if you want to call it that. Let's see here. Let's go Justin Schaefer. His update, he is recovering from surgery, and I know the Monarchs are keeping tabs on him, and Joe has, and know that we'd love to get him back at some point. Of course, he had the offseason, I think it was arthroscopic following the last season, and wishing him well, but I would not be surprised if you see him again. I went to this. You went to the Bananas game, the Monarchs. I saw last night that Savannah played at home in the Coastal Plain League, and Jesse Cole, the man in the yellow suit, their owner, was not there for the first time in forever, but he gave his crew rave reviews, watching them wherever he was remotely. I don't know where he was, but Chris, is that good stuff? There's some of my most. I wish, you know what? Maybe I could find this, Chris. You got a second? Let me see if I can dig this up for you. I think I've got a video. You know what? I will dig some video up. I shot one when we had John West on back in. You can go back and watch this. If you go back, I believe it will be back in January on Rain Reborn, which will be in Facebook or on YouTube in our archives. John's interview, I had some cover video of the road trip. Don't know if I've got that in my video files here real quickly. I mean, give me just a moment. Let's see here if I can help you out, because I had some really good video of us crossing the Mississippi River down around Hannibal, down that direction, and then over into Illinois and Tennessee, eventually on toward Nashville to Jackson. As my twin comes out, as I start talking about one of my ancestral homes of Tennessee. My grandparents from Tennessee. Let's see here. I don't know if I've got it. Let me see if I can find it for you. I had some video. I don't know if I saved it. I may have deleted it. But when we did the interview with John, I had that on there. Let me see. I don't think I got it. I am sorry about that. I don't have it. I don't see it. But it's a really good video of us crossing over. Actually, no, one more place it might be. No, thought it was here, but it wasn't. My bad. But a video of us crossing over. And one of my favorite things as well about these trips, is when we're driving in the daytime, because sun's still out. Guys were watching tablets, or we might be watching ESPN or whatever. We're chatting with Joe and with Bill and John. We're all having it's it's my fond memory of the summer. In the wintertime, I think back about those conversations. I love the day drive from, say, Fargo to Winnipeg or Chicago to wherever. I love those drives. And then we usually stop and get off in mass at some truck stop, and that's always entertaining. You never know what some guy's going to bring back on the bus. You never know. So I hope that helps you a little bit. Sorry about that. Will there ever be a Legends Field Hall of Fame or Hall of Fame Legends Field? Yes. Yes, it'll be combined. I don't know where that stands on the drawing board, but I can tell you this. One of the projects I was asked to do in the off season was to come up with initial names from the franchise who should have that honor. And I went through and pulled back, going back to Duluth, and have nominated, and we've talked about it. I think it's on the table. We haven't really come up with how we're going to execute it, but I would see something along the lines of a fan vote, perhaps with a media vote as well in the league. But yes, there's something coming down the line, but it is part of the grand plan with the ballpark. You're going to see something along those lines honoring not just the Monarchs, but the T-Bones as well. And that includes former personnel and former players. And I think you'll see that because I did submit that to the brass, and they have that. It's one of those projects. It's there right now. It's probably other. The warning track was in front of that. The playground was all in front of that, but it's on that list. And it's on that list. So yes. Let's see here. Yeah, there you go. There's your strap. Is this the one? Let me see here. Let me kind of. No, this was a fitted. This is brand new, my friend. Brand new. This is brand new. What I love is we have the best uniforms and we have the best combos, and we always have new stuff. The alternate KCs are like last year's, but not exactly. They're close, but they're not the same. Hometown whites with the red sleeves. I call them red sleeve hearts with the KC heart, which I'm so glad we're wearing this year. I love the KC heart. That's a Monarchs staple from the days of old. Those are new. We've also got the traveling grays. Those are awesome. And we've got some stuff. We've got some really good looks. The block KC from last year, we had the block KC. We've come back this year with the block KC. It's a pinwheel, and I'll probably wear it on the broadcast this weekend or on the show next week sometime. I brought it with me, but it's a pinwheel. It's white block KC. The FM signal in the Hall of Fame, possibility. I don't know. That's a good question. I've never heard of anything like that being discussed. I think it would be great. For example, something small and cool. If you've been to Fargo, the Roger Maris Museum at Fargo at that mall there, what is that? The Something Acres Mall. It's a cool little walk-through exhibit of Roger Maris. I can see something like that in, I don't know. St. Paul sort of makes sense, but they're no longer in the league. I guess Fargo. They got a little Maury Wills exhibit too there at the ballpark. Kansas City. It had been in the Independent League for a long time. I guess Winnipeg could be a place as well. But I think that's something that would be great. I love that idea. I mean, you would honor, obviously, there'd be a lot of, there'd be a place to honor guys like Doug Simonik, who's no longer in the league, and Greg Taggart, and also players, the Reggie Abercrombies of the world, and going further back. And it could just be all-inclusive Independent League. It could be all-inclusive Independent League. I mean, Joe could be in there from New Jersey, and he could be in there with the Monarchs too. There's all that going. I mean, and I think that's a great thing the league could do, and perhaps that's something I may bring up. It's a good idea, and I will give you credit, Sean. Say one of our fans. The FM transmitter thing is something in work in progress. I think I told you this last night on the broadcast. We're working hard on getting Jackson more involved with the wireless capabilities. That's project one. And then number two is the FM transmitter. I was hoping it would show up because that thing was built like a tank. It was about this big, but it was built to last. I mean, it's no longer there. And it would be great to have that. So yes, all that. Good stuff today, everybody. Good stuff. Yeah. Tells me it's time to get. I only walked 70 minutes already today. That's another thing. Team got here today, 10 o'clock. We check in, and you've got guys that some guys hit the hay. Some guys like myself and Bill Sobey did our walks. I was leaving. Matt Adams was getting his lunch delivered, you've got that was Brendan Cook and Jordan Martinson had made a food run of their own and gone to a store and came back in the Uber. I mean, some guys hit the bricks, some guys hit the hay. It kind of depends. But anyway, all right, tonight game time on the Monarchs Broadcast Network, and I want to challenge you guys to this. Okay, I want to challenge y'all. There we go. I want to challenge you folks that follow us. If you're on MixLR, please, thank you. Awesome. Thank you for being with us tonight. If you watch us on AA Baseball TV, if you're on the stream, on the video stream, make sure you go to our audio feed. We want to make sure we got our eyeballs, our fans watching our audio. Not to think, I think it's Sam Bree, our video. I think Sam Bree, his crew, they did a great job here, but that's the Dogs broadcast. You want the Monarchs call, you got to come to our side. It'll be an audio feed there. I'll be kind of, I don't know if I got a link for it. I may have a link for it for you. Let me see if there's one up there. Sometimes there's a link up already. Let me see if there's one up yet. There may not be. Let's just see what we got tonight. Yeah, it's already up. The link is up. No, it's not. Sorry. No, it is up. Let's see here. Here we go. Here's the link. This is the link for you folks that are going to be watching on the video stream. I want to just remind you, this is AA Baseball TV. This is the link. I'll put it in the chat here for you. And that way you guys can see this. That's the link right there. Yeah, keep winning. That's right. Keep winning. Dan, I saw you guys sneak in. Was it last night? I think it was. Night before last. I looked down there. I saw you guys sneaking in. I saw you. I know you're there. There it is right there in the chat. That's the link to tonight's broadcast. That's the KC audio. If you're watching AA Baseball TV, $14.99 per month. You get all the games and you get our audio over the video home and away. Now, if you're not doing that, which is fine, please be with us on MixLR. But I want to encourage you folks, if you're watching the video, watch our video channel. And if you're not, make sure you're following us on MixLR. I'll put those two things up in the chat as well, so you guys know where to go tonight. So we will not miss anything. There's your link to the Monarchs broadcast tonight. I can just do this too, just to kind of help you out here. And I like what, don't you love when Dan's kind of just freewheeling around here? There it is in the chat again. And this is AA Baseball TV's link in the chat. You guys saw that already. So there you go. And that's tonight. Air at 6:30 this evening. Pregame begins. I've already could tell you, I'll even give you a preview tonight. We're going to talk about, on this date in Monarchs history, a couple things. A doubleheader and also a forgotten point of Satchel Paige. I'd forgotten this little tidbit of Paige, and it relates to his time in the big leagues and returning one more time to the Monarchs. I'd totally forgotten this. I kind of forget that he came back, and we'll talk about that because that happened on this date back in 1955. We'll talk about that. Also, Monarchs 101. I believe that tonight will be a discussion about the Rube Foster. I believe that's what it is. I pulled all that up, but I haven't recorded it yet. But I know I have all that ready to go tonight. And then we'll, of course, to the top step around the American Association, all that tonight on the Monarchs Broadcast Network. And again, if you want to hear all the pre and post game, MixLR is where to go. The video side cuts off pre and post some of it. You're going to get some of it, but not all of it. I encourage you to get on the AA Baseball app and get the MixLR app going. You can chat with us on the radio app and watch the video, but I'd love to have you watch the video too. My challenge to you is to stack those apps, get you your eyeballs and your earballs. You don't really have earballs, do you? Get your ears listening and get your eyes watching the Monarchs channels this weekend from Chicago. Battle of two teams at the top of the ladder, both with identical records, 17-7, 10 games above 500. And we'll should be a dandy series here from the Flight Path of O'Hare. And a bonus, you can hear me tell you what airlines and what aircraft those are. I really can tell you that. It's a little party trick of mine. I can tell you. Well, that's an Airbus A319. Oh, that's a 737-800 series. Well, that's an Embraer. Well, that's a Canadair. That's an A330. Yeah, see where I'm going with this? I got you covered. as they fly over. All right, what do we got here? Last couple things. I missed a few things. The Marist Museum is cool. I used to live in Fargo. Saw the yes, yeah, and that is a cool museum. It's not very big, but it's cool. And I actually did a show there, 17, I believe, from there. I think I did. Maybe try to do one again. Chris says, hopefully, the dogs don't get any bright ideas about how the way broadcaster is treated. No, Chris. I'm very close to Sam. Sam is a good mate, and he and I commiserated already about that, so we'll be good. We're gonna be fun. They treat you well here. We've got a great view. It's no complaints here. They've always done a great job here. Always done a great job here. Yeah, we don't sneak. It's where the heart. Yes, I know. It's like, where's Elmo? I'm just kidding. I looked down there and I went, I try to. It's hard sometimes. I'll see y'all, but y'all don't see me, or y'all see me and I don't see you. And I try to wave, and I was waving, but you didn't see me. And I was like, and I had no Twinkies to throw Dan, so that's why. Hearts, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Go Monarchs, yes. Let's go Monarchs. Says Shaggy. Shaggy, how you doing, mate? Good to see you today. Hope you're doing well. Hope you enjoyed the game. Cessna, there are not these. Well, there may be some Cessnas flying over. The smallest jet I saw today was a private Lear. Well, I wouldn't even Lear. It was it's the subsidiary. Well, I guess it's Lear. It's the Lear's smaller version. It's the one that Beechcraft and Lear have combined on it, which is the same company anyway. Made in Wichita. It's very small. It was a private jet. But for the most part, O'Hare is going to be the big boys commercial. It's a hub for United. It's their headquarters. And it's American's second biggest hub, I believe, or third. Obviously, DFW, where they're based, Charlotte, and I believe Chicago. But a big hub, and there's all international carriers here too. Qatar, Emirates, British Airways, Air France, Aer Lingus, Iberia, you name it. You name the country, they probably fly here. And that's what, but no Cessnas. There may be, I'm sure they're there, but I don't see them. I'm not angry. Sorry for you're not angry. Good. All right. Well, I know you're not angry. Do you have a booth? Yes, we have a booth tonight. We're all good. We have a booth with a great view, and we're good. We're good. The only trick about it is, and I got told this story before, their club, which I believe is called the Rivers Club, the casino around the corner from us is the Rivers Casino, and they have sports betting. But the Rivers Casino right next door to us here, and it's also the club level. And what's really cool is we go down there and get your drinks and your waters and all that. And one year, I guess it was last year, I was going to have an evening out with my wife and with Casey Strong and his wife, our driver, our transportation director, and my mom was in town, and I wanted to get a head start, so I had them send me an adult beverage down that way, and they were obliging me. I was very happy with that. So anyway, yes, so we're all good. I can't see you in the booth from behind the third base ticket. I can see. Yes. Yeah, I'm kind of blocked away there against the wall like this. You're not missing much. She's much, much better to look at than me. How do I get so lucky? As a matter of fact, she's on her way now. She got to be here in a couple hours because she's flying from Kansas City. And this is always a big trip for the team. We've got a lot of guys. I think Jacob Lindgren and his wife are going to be here. There's usually a pretty good dose of family that come up. I know that Casey Gillespie's mother-in-law will be here. I don't know if Carrie will be here, his wife, but no, mother-in-law will be here. So it's always a good place to go. Anyway. All right, gang. That's the show. Now, we will not do this tomorrow, but what I think I'm going to do, and I've thought about this for the last week or so, and I've debated about it. I may do Monarchs live pregame again. We weren't doing it, but I think I will do it. And WD-40 just told me. So she's here. She's landed across the street. She's here. Look out, folks. She's here. Time for lunch. Long taxi and a long walk to the bus, she says. Well, she won't be anytime soon. But I'm debating, and what do you guys think about this? But Yeah, she's too big to. Well, we don't take wives and girlfriends on the bus, Chris. But you're right; she is too big time. I dang near joined her, but we are staying over though, so there is that. But yeah, she's too big league for the bus. She's big league in all of us. W40. Let's see here. Yeah, Sean, appreciate it tonight. Again, I will try. I'm doing this show Monday through Friday. We've had so many off days during the week. Our next show will be Tuesday from Sioux City, but I am arriving at Sioux City at 11. So I don't know what time I'll get the show actually done. I may do it from O'Hare Airport, maybe. I don't know. And Wednesday, Thursday there. I'm debating we may start doing Monarchs Live. If you guys think that's something you want to do, I can do a Monarchs Live at the top of the hour before the broadcast starts if you guys want to. Yes, she's smarter to fly versus driving anyway. She is much smarter to fly. And a couple of you folks have asked about the booth camp. I brought the gear, and I think we'll be able to maybe launch that this weekend in beta and hopefully get rolling with that booth camp again. So there's that possibility. So look for that if you follow our YouTube channel. But your thoughts, well, maybe we'll do a little quick live tonight. How about that? A quick live with the lineup card to get the scene set tonight. We'll do that at 6 o'clock. That gives us 10 minutes to get that done and get us ready for the broadcast at 6:30. So tonight, Monarchs Live pregame. We'll unveil that in this road trip. I think we should do that, especially because it's a big series and got to get you guys ready to go. So that'll be on Facebook Live and on YouTube Live coming up at 6 o'clock tonight and at 5 o'clock tomorrow, 2 o'clock on Sunday. So look for that right here. We'll unveil Monarchs Live coming up tonight on the broadcast. So there we go. That's your show. You guys ready for a 1, 2, 3 go Monarchs? I know I am. Let's bring this down. Let's bring this up, and let's bring this down. And you guys ready? Me. Ready, Freddie? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Go Monarchs. I'll see you on the broadcast tonight. How about some coffee music? Here we go.